Showtime.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here of the Young Bulls podcast, man. It's your boy Denari here, and we here with two of my guys, man. It's been a minute for one of them, but glad he can see his return and everything like that. Quengo, welcome back. Welcome home. Say what's up to the people, man.
Nice to be back. Nice to be back, man. It's been a while.
And the man in the middle, man, Jalen. I seen what the Commanders had on, but say what's up to the people, man.
What's up?
Yeah, I see you ready for playoff football in DC, man. I see you ready for playoff football.
Yes, sir. About to win it all. You know how it goes.
I don't know how that goes. But anyway, that's what this episode's about, man. Obviously, with the playoffs and everything coming up this weekend, we're going to go through each matchup from the AFC to the NFC, talk about who we're favoring to win each matchup, Super Bowl favorites, as well as we're going to go in depth into who we think will win the yearly awards as well. Obviously, this episode is going to be action-packed. That's why we got 3 people on it. Pretty much everybody here is ball knowers for the most part. Pretty much. So it should be an interesting episode. Definitely a lot of dialogue, though. But before we get started, man, we just want to say our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with the people in New Orleans, man. They're just recovering from this shooting that happened last week on Bourbon Street. And I also want to say thoughts and prayers to the people in California with the wildfire that took place. You guys want to say anything before we get started?
I feel like you said everything for us,
Quengo, you got anything you want to say? All right, let's get started. All right, so with the first matchup, we're going to start with the NFC side. Green Bay versus Philadelphia, man. Green Bay versus Philadelphia. Obviously, Jalen Hurts coming back from concussion protocol for the Eagles side. For the Packers side, Jordan Love, shoulder injury. He's looking to probably try to play in that game. And, Christian Watson, torn ACL and everything like that. So, obviously, they're going to be missing some stars for Green Bay. But how are we feeling about that matchup?
I believe they're missing Jair Alexander as well.
All right. But who wants to go first, man? How are we feeling about that matchup and who you got coming out of the game?
Honestly, the Packers are missing so many people. I know how they get during playoff time, but they're missing so many pieces on both sides of the ball. I just feel like the Eagles are going to come out and just take that one away.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It will have to be a Packers masterclass, Eagles disaster class for the Packers to win that game. Eagles been pretty consistent with their defense since week 6, week 7. You know what I'm saying? You know what their offense is gonna do. They're gonna run the ball. They got everybody. The Eagles probably come out that game pretty easily.
Well, I think that's cool what y'all said. I think that's cool. But I still feel like y'all are brushing over the fact that this is playoff Packers football. And the Packers are the same team last year that went into AT&T Stadium and hung 40 on the Cowboys, or 30. I forgot what it was, but all I know is that it was 27-0 at half. So, look, as much as I want to sit up here and say the Eagles should take care of business, the Eagles do also have, times in which they're a very streaky team. Obviously, on paper, they look good, but we saw what happened last year in the playoffs against Tampa. Wasn't good. We saw what happened, numerous times in the regular season last year when they imploded and lost 6 straight games after getting blown out by the 49ers at home. So, I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if Green Bay comes into Philly on Sunday and gives them work and actually beats them and takes care of business at Lincoln Financial Field.
Well, firstly, I would say that I wouldn't compare this team to last team. This is a completely different defense, almost everywhere, honestly. They got Zach Bond from the Saints, who they basically unlocked. He was not doing that.
That's a great pickup.
Yeah.
He's been playing amazing
playing crazy. They got DeGene. They got what do you call it?
Blankenship.
Gardner. Yeah, they got Blankenship. They got consistency. That's really with their defense. That's the thing. They just been consistent. They haven't been spectacular, but they just consistently make plays and take plays away from the other team. So I don't think this is the same team from last year where they were, giving up big plays. And then even on the offensive side of the ball, they got way more consistent. They got Saquon. I don't know. I don't really see how the Packers win this game. I really can't see them winning the game, especially with the injuries too.
Mm-hmm. What's your score prediction? What's your score prediction for the game, Quengo?
I'll probably say Eagles score around 27, 24 points to the Packers, probably 10, 13. it's not going to be a blowout because both teams are probably pretty solid. I would be surprised if it was a blowout, but I can see the Eagles winning comfortably. Like I can see an easy Eagles win here.
All right, Jalen, what you got?
More like 34-13 or 34-17, something around there.
Wow.
Eagles 34, Packers 13-17, one of the two.
For me, uh, honestly, 30-27 Green Bay, man. Give me Green Bay. Give me Green Bay. 30-27 Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to pull off an upset here. I'm looking at all the other, battles in the NFC for the, playoff spots this weekend. I feel like Green Bay is the only team that's going to have the upset. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I feel like the other two teams, man, I feel like the teams that are supposed to win those games are going to win those games. But I'll say 30-27. Green Bay for this one. Hopefully it's going to be a good game, man. I know Jalen's talking about going to go tailgate, before the game and everything like that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Definitely want to tailgate for that game.
I definitely want to
Feel
see
like
what
it'd be a good time.
yeah, I definitely want to see what it's like for, playoff football in Philly, especially since, last year and everything. And this team is definitely like thirsty to win a Super Bowl. Especially after coming so close the past 2 years. But let's move on, man. Jalen, your team, man, the Commanders against the Bucks. Commanders against the Bucks. Sunday night. How we feeling about that game, man? How we feeling about the game?
I'm gonna finish this one off. I'm gonna let Klingo go first. I'm gonna have my last remarks.
So I just want to say to all these Wild Commanders fans piping up this season, acting crazy. Y'all got this probably gonna be our first playoff win in a long time. I had y'all losing in the first round. That's because I thought y'all were gonna end up playing the Rams. I still don't think y'all could beat the Rams. But the Buccaneers, it's not even more so that I think it's a lot of things with them. Yeah, they're missing a lot of people. I'm pretty sure coming into this game, especially what's the name? Dang, Chris Godwin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Mike Evans alone, especially considering he's playing against Marshawn Lattimore. I don't think he could do enough to make them win this game. I don't think Bucky Irving could do enough to win this game. So yeah, I got the Commanders winning this, and I can't see I can't see them stopping the Commanders' offense.
Yeah, as much as I want to, I want to sit up here and poke fun of Jalen's team, man. The truth, man, Jaden Daniels, man, he's had a
Oh
stellar.
my gosh! Say it again! Say it again!
Jaden Daniels, man.
Ooh wee! That's a name right there.
Jaden
It's an
Daniels,
aura
man.
around that man. It's an aura around that man.
The kid out of Washington, man.
Here's a friend.
He had a stellar rookie campaign, man. Probably going to end up winning Rookie of the Year. He took this team from obscurity and irrelevancy to a team that's found joy, man, and a team that's having fun out there and playing the game. No one expected, not even me, expected the Commanders to win that many games this year, man. Definitely was a shock to everyone. So to see them, why are you laughing? What you laughing for?
No, just the way you said it was a shock to everyone because it really was.
Yeah,
if anybody said Commanders win 11 games this season,
because I didn't expect it. So just seeing them in this position right now, man, in the playoffs and everything like that, and I feel like they have a chance to go into Tampa Bay and win. They have a chance to go in and win against Tampa, and I definitely feel like it's going to be a good game. But like Quingo said already, I don't think the defense for Tampa Bay has enough to stop, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders offense, especially with Cliff Kingsbury, doing the air raid offense and everything like that. And then also, too, with the defense, obviously there's some holes with the Commanders, but I feel like the holes that they have on defense, I feel like they'll be able to make up for it in other aspects as well in the game. So, I mean, obviously, I feel like the game is going to be a good game, but 28-14 Washington. 28-14 Washington.
Now I'm gonna add my 2 cents to this. As it was stated before, nobody expected my team to be here, and all I'm gonna say is, go Commanders. So obviously, we have my prediction on who I think is going to win, right here. But score prediction, 42-28 Commanders. 42-28 Commanders.
That's bold.
42-28.
We gonna score 42, and the Buccaneers gonna have 28.
Where they get 28 points from? Where are they gonna get their 28?
Where y'all getting 42 from? I mean, I said it was gonna be close, but
42-28 Commanders. And then Yeah, as it was stated before, Mike Evans is really the only uh like receiving threat on the team, and him lining up against Marshawn Lattimore, he might get kicked out of the game to begin with. So that's really it. And Bucky Irving and Rashad White, I just feel like their run game has been a little inconsistent. They obviously
Very
once they get going, I mean they can rush for like 200 yards. But if we stop their run, I feel like that's really the game right there. And then it's gonna be a struggle for them to stop our offense as well.
All right, all right. So 42-28. I said 28-14. Quengo, you give a score prediction?
Nah, but if I had to say a score, I'd probably say like 28, maybe 10 or 13. I can't see them scoring more than one touchdown. Maybe a couple field goals, maybe 2, 3 field goals. So I'm gonna say like 28-13.
I just hope y'all. The only thing I hope that you guys have figured out, man, is the whole Michael Davis and St. Just problem.
Yeah,
Because
but Lattimore's back. We good, but we good.
I mean,
Mikey
all right,
back. We good. We good. We
just
good.
making sure, man. Just making
If
sure.
anything, St. Jude's might play like 10 snaps, and that's if we need him. But
Just making sure, man. All right, so we already just went through two of the matchups in the NFC. So the last one, which I feel like outside of the Green Bay Philly one, is going to be the most interesting matchup: Minnesota against the Rams. Obviously,
yeah, it's gonna be good.
Minnesota, they lost Sunday Night Football last week against the Lions. Has them as the 5 seed right now. Obviously, they won 14 games this season, so obviously, like, it's nothing to frown about. But, you know, going on the road against the Rams, how are we feeling about this matchup, fellas? And who we have coming out of this matchup? Because it's a good matchup. It's a good matchup.
I'm gonna say I got the Vikings. I'm pretty big on the Rams. I think the Rams are pretty close to the same tier as the Vikings, honestly. Like in terms of the team, I would say the only thing they're lacking maybe is the defense, and especially the secondary. I feel like it's their only weak spot, but very solid run game, pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? Receiving core, great quarterback. I'm gonna take the Vikings though because I think their defense is just gonna, you know what I'm saying, be the difference maker in terms of the game.
All right, Jay.
Well, I personally think it's gonna be a really like a very close game. Like it might come down to like a game-winning field goal with this game. Um, I do feel like I got the Rams on top of this game. I just feel like I don't know. Matthew Stafford tends to he's been pretty inconsistent this year, but I just feel like during the playoffs, like he becomes a different animal. He really knows how to lock in and make the right plays, make the right decisions on the field. So I do have the LA Rams coming out on top of this one. I want to say final score. mm, it's gonna come down to like a game winning field goal, like 21-24. If
All right.
like 21-24.
All right. For me, obviously, like you guys have said, you guys just echoing what I'm saying, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really close game. Probably one of the best games of Wild Card Weekend, to be honest with you, looking at both sides. But the one thing that I want to point out is that this is Sam Darnold's. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first playoff start. If I'm not mistaken, this is his first playoff start.
Yeah.
It's his first playoff start. Obviously, success in the regular season, that's cool and all, but the playoffs are a different animal. Playoffs are a different beast. And if you don't have the proper, experience, you could crack. Obviously, Sam Darnold, if we look at Sunday Night Football's performance, he didn't do so hot, man. He didn't do so hot. I'm pretty sure the Vikings only put up 9 points in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only put up 9 points in that game. And I'm no way in the world am I saying that playing in SoFi Stadium is a lot tougher than playing at Ford Field, but, it's loud there. And I just feel like Darnold, in this case, is not going to have as much success as he had in the regular season. Now, in some cases, we're going to see, Justin Jefferson, Hawkinson, they're going to get theirs for sure. But with Darnold, I feel like it's going to be a game where he's going to have 3 picks. He's going to throw for less than 300 yards. And I feel like, the Rams are going to take advantage of that. And I feel like it's going to be another early exit for the Vikings here. I feel like the score for this game, 30-21. 30-21 Rams here. 30-21 Rams here. I feel like Stafford's going to go off, and I feel like Nakua's going to do his thing too. And, I just feel like the Rams just have a lot more weapons, to be honest with you. Obviously, with Nakua, they had the running back, Kyron Williams, I believe. Kyron Williams. And so, I just feel like the Rams are just better suited and have more experience in this case than Sam Darnold and the Vikings. So, It's gonna be an interesting matchup. Anything else you want to say before we go any further?
Yeah, piggybacking off of what you just said, Sunday Night Football looked terrible for Sam Darnold. Like he was missing open receivers. He was hesitant on certain decisions, and I mean that's not going to slide in the playoffs. But with the Rams, I just feel like their defense. Well, let me say this: their secondary is not as it's not as good. They don't have such a good secondary, and I just feel like he's going to be able to thrive against the secondary, but I don't know if he's going to be able to win the game.
I feel that. Quango, you got anything else you want to say, man?
I'm gonna say also we're forgetting about Aaron Jones. Like I would say in terms of the Rams defense, I don't think they have as many playmakers as the Vikings defense. Like Puka Nacua and Cooper Cup, I feel like when you let them run wild, the game's gone. Like once Puka from snap one is going like 3 receptions, 30 yards on the first drive, you're in trouble. But I think the Vikings are gonna pay. I think they're very easy to scheme. The Rams is what I think. I think because of the fact that they're basically running off their quarterback and 3 skill players. Whereas the Vikings, you know what I'm saying, in general, the talent is more spread out. They got a pretty good tight end, 2 really good receivers. They got good wide receiver 3 and 4 options. And they got a running back who can run. So like I'm agree though on this though. I feel like it is Sam Darnold's first playoff game, and it's very possible that they lose because you know what I'm saying, lack of experience or him having a disaster class. So I mean I'm agree with that, but I still got the Vikings taking the game because it should be pretty easy for them to manipulate that secondary and defense with the pieces they have. So.
And then also too, I got a follow up question. First off, you got a score prediction? Did you give a score prediction?
Oh,
No.
score prediction. I'm gonna actually take the Vikings by a landslide. Like I'm gonna go like
Wow.
maybe like 9. I'm gonna say 28-9. Like maybe 28-13. I think it's gonna be a landslide, honestly.
All right. And then here's my follow up question. Obviously, JJ McCarthy was hurt this year. Would you obviously he's gonna be back next year. There were talks already about, Vikings interested in looking to move McCarthy and, making Darnold like the full on starter and stuff like that. If you're the Vikings, based off this playoff run that's about to happen, regardless of how it finishes, are we running it back with Darnold next year, or are we giving the reins to McCarthy? What are we doing?
I would give it to McCarthy. I'm not gonna lie. I would try to keep Sam Darnold, and I would probably start Sam Darnold next year, probably for the first like 3 to 4 games. But once again, he's still a young quarterback, and that's a big difference. And he looked good when he was playing in the preseason. But I will say the Vikings don't really have to worry per se about finding a quarterback who's going to win them games because of the fact that they just literally they had Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold, 2 quarterbacks who failed in practically any other situations. Not failed, but like they didn't look so.
Yeah.
They didn't look as good as they look at the Vikings in other situations. So they know they can get a QB who can win them games. That's not the problem. I think they're looking for someone to take them. Oh shoot! I think they're looking for someone to take them to the next level. And I mean, I would trust JJ McCarthy in this situation.
Right. Jalen, what you think, man? What you think?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we rock with Sam Darnold and we develop JJ McCarthy. If Sam Darnold wants to test free agency after his contract expires, let him do it. Because during that time, we're gonna be developing JJ McCarthy anyway. So I feel like start Sam Darnold, let JJ get behind him, get reps when he needs to. If Sam Darnold is looking banged up out for a series, but start Darnold, bench McCarthy, and let him rock out. Let him rock out. Let him develop.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with those sentiments as well. I don't think anyone expected Darnold to have the success that he had this season. I feel like at most they probably expect him to win at least 6 or 7 games, but 14 games is very, very impressive. So to be able to do that on a level like this, man, is very huge. And obviously, just because of that, I feel like they should just run it back next year. And yeah, just see where it goes. I mean, if he doesn't perform well next year, then obviously, give the reins to McCarthy at that point. But if he's able to do it again, let him do it again. But yeah, honestly, it's not really about the quarterback thing that I'm really worried about for the Vikings. I just want to know how many more years Justin Jefferson has and just these one and dones. I mean, obviously, the Vikings haven't had that much success in the playoffs the past, couple of years. And, looking at, just Justin Jefferson, like, even just looking at his contract and stuff like that and everything. I don't know how many more years of this he has. So, I mean, the quarterback thing is cool, but, obviously for me, I'm just worried about the whole Justin Jefferson situation. You're just monitoring that if I'm other teams as well based off this playoff run. So, I feel like that's something to look out for as well. But yeah, anything else y'all guys want to say before we move to the AFC?
Might take it away now.
All right, man. So, first AFC matchup, we got Los Angeles Chargers against the Houston Texans, man. Obviously, the Texans are banged up, pretty banged up. Chargers, with their new coach Harbaugh, has them, flying high and stuff heading into the playoffs. How we feeling about that matchup? How we feeling?
Ooh. I feel like that's a game the Chargers are going to take away. The Texans are a bit banged up, and C.J. Stroud hasn't looked his best this season. And Justin Herbert and his offense are flowing, man. Justin Herbert and his offense are flowing. I just feel like they're gonna outscore them, and the Chargers defense isn't that bad. I believe they have like a top 15 defense, a mediocre defense, but I feel like it's gonna be enough to get the job done against the Texans, a banged up Texans.
Score prediction?
Score prediction 28-10.
20,
28-17.
2017. All right. Quingo, what you got, man?
So I'm gonna go with the Texans. I mean, I know they're banged up, but I don't know if the Chargers are gonna be able to get enough pressure on C.J. Stroud because really, like the poor performances have mostly been like when he has no time to throw. When he has time to throw, he still looks like to the level he looked last season. So I'm gonna go with C.J. Stroud and the Texans, and I'm seeing Joe Mixon have a big game. I can see the Texans winning this. But at the same time, I'd be happy with the Chargers win. I'm a big Herbert fan. So
Score prediction, man?
score prediction, I don't expect the score to be really high, more like a 17-21 game. It's still going to be close, but 21-17, the Texans, I'm going to say.
For me, man, it's gonna be. I'm looking at the other two playoff games. I feel like this one's gonna be like the ones that you kind of fall asleep in between. Just do something to pass the time. Only reason I'm saying that is because I'm looking at the Texan side, banged up, man. Obviously, missing Stephon Diggs. They're missing other star receivers. Tank Dell, obviously. But I want to see Herbert have success. Obviously, looking at the Chargers and stuff like that, when it comes to recent playoff, history, they've struggled a lot. They haven't had success and they haven't had a chance to, win games and do things like that. So, I want to see Herbert succeed here. And obviously, I want to see Harbaugh succeed as well. Looking at Stroud this season, man, obviously, it's been a sophomore slump for him. He hasn't played at the level that we expected him to play this year. And honestly, he's played below that. So, I mean, I hope he plays well, but I feel like the Chargers are going to they're just overpowering him. And I just feel like they're going to have a lot more, just success against the Texans. My score prediction for this is going to be 31-17. 31-17. I just feel like the Chargers just have way too much power against the Texans. But yeah, anything else you guys want to say about this playoff matchup, man?
And that was it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to the next one, man. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. These two teams played against each other 2 weeks ago, man. Baltimore won that game. Playing again here in the wild card. Obviously, with Lamar Jackson, probably the MVP favorite here, going up against Russell Wilson. How are we feeling about this matchup, guys? What do we like? What do we don't like? What's the score predictions?
Okay, I'll go first. Obviously, this is a divisional game. This is a tiebreaker game, I believe.
Yeah.
Tiebreaker for the division. Yeah. So they play each other twice, 1-1. So it's going to be a tiebreaker divisional playoff game. So it's obviously going to be a lot of chirping on the field, a lot of headbutting on the field. But I just feel like the Steelers have been very lackluster as of recently, and the Ravens are on a roll, man. I just feel like the Ravens going to come out on top on this one, and I don't see the Steelers. I might not even see the Steelers scoring a touchdown this game.
What's the final score, man?
Score prediction 9-31, bro.
9-31. Wow. All right, Quingo, what you got, man?
I'm actually agree right here. I really think it's two ways I think the game could go. But overall, I feel like the Ravens should steamroll the Steelers right here. Like lately, not only have the Steelers been lackluster, you know what I'm saying? They show that they still need a big like wide receiver two option because George Pickens cannot like handle all of the offensive load by himself. And it seems like they still don't have a good offensive game plan. You know, it seems like they try to get the ball to Pickens and then try to maybe establish the run after. And if that doesn't work, there's nothing they can do. So I'm gonna say the Ravens. It's gonna be really hard to stop. You know, every game as it is. You know, Derrick Henry and Lamar with the running game, and then you know how Lamar, unlocked his passing game this season. Crazy, basically. So honestly, like Jalen said, I got them steamrolling them. It's probably gonna be like a 20 point, 30 point game potentially. So
For me, man, I feel like obviously this game right here, man, is tiebreaker, as Jalen said. But I just feel like the Ravens just have way too much. I'm looking at the Steelers for the past couple of weeks. Obviously, the Christmas Day game against the Chiefs, and a couple of games earlier in the season here and there. One thing that I felt that was consistent about the Steelers was, I guess, their inconsistency, if that makes sense. I feel like the Steelers just had trouble, as Jalen said, just finding an identity on offense, and just whether it was either force feeding the ball to Pickens or Pickens getting into a fight with somebody else on the field, or just things of that nature. And it's just a thing where in the playoffs, like you said, it comes down to experience. And when the only people on your team with experience on your offense is Freiermuth, then Russell Wilson and maybe Cam Hayward, it's not gonna really do anything. It's not gonna really give you a recipe for success, if you get what I'm saying. So I just feel like the Steelers, man, they don't have enough. And the Ravens, you look at the Ravens down the line, man, this team should have been in the Super Bowl last year. They didn't make it. They're out for blood this year in the playoffs. I feel like this team is the only team, in my opinion, that can really pose a threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel like this team is the only team that can do that. This team has been battle tested. This team has lost together. And with adding Derrick Henry, it just adds a brand new dimension to the game and to, what they're trying to do in Baltimore. So I feel like this should be a blowout. I don't feel like it will be a blowout, though. I feel like, obviously, first game of the playoffs is going to cause for people to, play outside of themselves and do too much. So I feel like because of that reason itself, it's going to cause the game to be a lot closer than what it needs to be. So I'll say the final score for the game, it was sort of similar to the Rams-Vikings game. It's going to be 30-21. 30-21 Baltimore, but Baltimore's going to find a way to move on to the next round.
I'm also point out though, I did say like it's two ways I saw the game going, and I'm not gonna lie, on the other side of the coin, like the Steelers are known historically, especially in the past decade with Mike Tomlin, for their defense being the initiator of their offense. So like if the Steelers are able to get fumbles, fumble returns, pick sixes, like if the Ravens go out there and are not serious and lay an egg, like it's very possible that the Steelers can take the game just based off of their defense, and they definitely have a history of that with Lamar Jackson because he has a losing record to them. So I mean, there's also that, but I feel like ideally based off of like the form at least in the past 6 weeks that the Ravens have been in, like they picked it up from those games when they actually would do that against the Steelers, and I think they're like prepared to not do that this go around. So yeah.
And honestly, too, another thing, the playoffs have not taught me anything, man. I feel like the playoffs have also shown me that what we think should be able to happen, what should happen, is not always the case, man. You take the Eagles-Buccaneers game last year, man. The Eagles should have won that game.
Easy, babe.
Eagles should have won that game last year. Eagles should have taken care of business.
Coming for the Commanders, too. Hello.
We heard you take it earlier. You on my side right now.
The Eagles should have taken care of business last year in the playoffs against the Buccaneers. But obviously, that was one of Baker Mayfield's best playoff performances. And we saw what happened with that. So, I want to sit up here and say that the Ravens shouldn't have problems, but obviously, who knows what can happen with the playoffs, man. That's the beauty of it. And hopefully we're wrong on these picks. Hopefully these games are a lot closer than what we think they're going to be, because that just means for more football. But yeah. All right, so moving on to the last game. Anybody else want to have anything else to say before we move on to the last one?
No.
All right. Quengo, you got anything else you want to say?
So I want to update my score. Instead of 31-9, it's going to be 34-9. My fault. Ravens though.
Ravens though, all right. So last game, man, Denver versus Buffalo, man. Denver's first time being in the playoffs since 2015, 2016, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think it's
Um,
2016.
yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Obviously, Bo Nix and Sean Payton doing good things over there in Denver, going up against a Bills team that in the recent years they've been close, but to no cigar have they been able to, complete the task, win the Super Bowl, and making a deep playoff run. How are we feeling about this game? Um, how are we feeling? Score predictions too.
Mm.
I'm gonna go at 100-7. Is that possible? No, I'm trolling. But
Mm.
on a serious note, the Broncos, they probably know this. As soon as they get on that field, they might not make it past the 50. They might. Nah, on a serious note, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Bo Nix, you know what I'm saying? We seen some of his traits. We seen that he can play make. He makes a couple plays. That's very possible. I mean, I've seen it where the Broncos against good teams might stay in the game for a little bit. But after the second quarter, I can't see this being close at all. I think Buffalo are just going to run all over them, like in every way possible. Literally, they're going to run the ball over them. They're going to throw over them. And I mean, I also wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos make some plays on defense. But I got the Bills taking this game away by like 20, maybe
Oh my
30-10,
god,
30-10, maybe
30-10.
37.
Oh gosh, man. All right, Jalen, what you got, man?
I'm gonna actually be the odd one out here, man. Honestly, I feel like this is like one of the teams where the Buccaneers, I mean, not the Buccaneers, the Broncos actually have a chance, and that's crazy to say. That's not crazy. That's crazy to say. The one team. Okay, so it's a reason behind this. It's a reason behind this.
Go ahead, man.
So the Broncos lost to the Chiefs by like a field goal, and the Chiefs lost to the Bills by like another field goal. I just feel like those games are weeks apart, but I just feel like the Broncos are going to be able to compete. They got one of the best defenses in the league. Pass Surtain with the, I think Depoy favorite right now, and Nick Benito was third and Depoy favorite as well. So they got stars on defense. I feel like if their defense can perform this game, I feel like they wouldn't. If their defense performs, I feel like they can outscore the Bills. Bro. If their defense performs, bro.
I just
Okay.
want to
And
butt in
that
right
it,
here. I just want to butt in right here. I don't think that there's anything this defense can do to like save them. I'm gonna say this. I think the Broncos' defensive stats were heavily inflated this season by their strength of schedule. Like guys like Nick, I'm not gonna lie, they have some pretty good defensive players, definitely playmakers. But I think outside of their playmakers, there are like some pretty big holes in that team. And in fact, what was the game a week ago? Who was that exploited? It was the Bengals. T. Higgins did to that DB Riley. Just imagine what the Bills.
Riley
I can
Moss.
imagine now. I can imagine now. I think they're gonna have to play a lot of zone if they want any chance and even competing. And we know what Josh Allen does in zone because if they man up, Josh Allen is getting out of the pocket consistently. And if they want to keep him in the pocket, like I don't know how they scheme against Josh Allen with this 11-man defense they have. I don't know how they're gonna scheme against that.
I don't know, man. I was actually talking to Brandon about this earlier, but I feel like
Shout out, Brandon.
the
Shout out, Brandon.
the Broncos defense, they actually have a valid chance of if they are able to contain Josh Allen and keep Josh Allen in that pocket, forcing Josh Allen to throw. I feel like he doesn't have enough weapons on the receiving end to be able to do anything, and they're going to have to like if they want to win, they're going to have to run the ball over Denver, basically. And I just feel like
Well,
if they contain if they contain Josh Allen in the pocket and their offense performs, the Broncos can come out on top of this game.
Khalil
The
Shakir,
Broncos
Keon Coleman, Dawson Kincaid, Dawson Knox, James Cook. I'm not gonna lie,
and
like
also with Josh Allen being stuck in the pocket, Zach Allen has the most pressures in the league. Nick Benito can get in the backfield, and their receivers are on. You name it, inexperienced receiver, playoff inexperienced receivers. I just feel like I just feel like the Broncos can come out on top of this one.
now I understand the playoff experience thing, but at the same time, like you put Keon Coleman on that same DB that was on T Higgins, he's
Riley
going to see
Moss.
red. He's going to see red. Here's the thing. I think like and when two people are lining up against each other, it's different if he has Pat Surtain across him. Like you have to respect it. He's a very good DB. He's the best DB in the league. Like certain things you have to respect, but I don't think they have the personnel in the secondary to where like there will be any fear in the Bills receivers' hearts when they're running routes. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all, honestly. And is this not? This is a home game for them too, right?
Home game
For the
for
Bills,
Buffalo.
yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's going to be pretty comfortable. They're going to be hearing their own fans. I really can't see outside of
Look,
Pat Surtain and maybe a couple of players on that defense.
look, like we said, man, the biggest takeaway for playoff football is the experience, man. And Buffalo and Josh Allen has, tons of experience on the, playing playoff football, especially in front of their own, crowd and everything like that. Bo Nix doesn't have that. Bo Nix, he played the college football playoff, I'm pretty sure. I believe he played in there once. I don't think he did, actually.
He played in some really competitive games.
He
Like
played in some competitive games.
Oregon and Auburn.
Okay, he played in
Not
some
playoffs, but
Okay, he
really
played in some
competitive
competitive
games.
environments, but that has nothing on playoff football in the NFL, man.
Hmm?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
It,
That's debatable.
what's debatable?
That's debatable.
It's not. It's not.
That's
Playing it.
debatable.
Playing
SEC
it.
football, Denari, he played at
Yeah.
Auburn against Alabama Iron Bowl.
That's not. That's.
Denari.
Hey, I'm agree with Jalen on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
That's an environment
SEC
with a
rivalry
bigger
games
stadium.
and big matchups are. I'm not gonna say they are playoff football, but it kind of. I feel like
It's up
players
there.
that
It's
play
up there.
there. I feel like players
Okay.
that play in the SEC in
Got
general
an edge.
are yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah.
I think they definitely do.
Okay, so I feel like the game itself is going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be that close. I want to say the Broncos have a chance here because honestly, they do. They do have a chance to pull. They have the chance to pull off an
I
ultimate.
feel like this is gonna be the upset of the playoffs. I feel like this is gonna be the upset of the playoffs.
Because when you look at the Bills, man, let's be honest. When you look at the Bills, man, and when you look at teams of the past with Buffalo, obviously, Diggs and stuff like that. You look at this Bills team this year, man. They can be beat. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
it's
gonna be
not
honest. I think it's the opposite. Like might be the most hungry Bills team we've seen in a minute. Like the previous years, I think they even had like slightly better constructed rosters to an extent, but they literally ran into like Thanos. Like those Chiefs teams were way more front loaded offensively. So it's like now we're looking at a way weaker offensive Chiefs team. And honestly, the only threat to them I see really is the Ravens. Really, and honestly, if the Ravens can get over the hump on the Steelers, I see them as probably the favorite to come out the AFC. But this Bills team, I think they really won it. Like the fact that they have this record
Did he just lag
this
out?
season
yeah,
with the players they
keep
have.
going. But nah,
Yeah, I think
He
they
gonna be
really
back.
won
He
it.
gonna be back.
Yeah, he gonna be back. He gonna be back. But just talking about the Bills some more, man. Obviously, the team can be beat, man. You look at teams of the past and stuff like that. I mean, you look at the team that lost to the Chiefs back in 22. That team was one Tyreek Hill, catch over the middle, away from being in the Super Bowl that year. So, you look at the games like
I think
that.
it was Travis Kelce. But continue on.
Oh yeah, Travis Kelce. Yeah. Wrong play. But yeah, but I feel like this could be an ultimate upset for sure. Obviously if the Bills make mistakes on offense, Denver can capitalize on that. Obviously Bo Nix has the ability to put the ball in the air, and obviously Javonte Williams has the ability to, run the ball as well. So hopefully it's a good game. My score prediction, I think I gotta go with Jalen on this one, man. It's gonna be a one possession game. It's gonna be 31-24. 31-24 Denver. 31-24 Denver.
I'm not to piggyback off of what you said, but not piggyback, but one difference I want to point out. I feel like the Broncos will have to throw the ball against the Bills. Their run game has been very inconsistent this year. It can pop off with Javonte Williams and Estime, but it hasn't been there where it hasn't been what it should be. And they're going to throw the ball. It's definitely doable though. Cortland Sutton is had 1K receiving yards this year. He's a great receiver, and as well as they had playmakers on the other side of the field as well. Marvin Mims, shocker this year, made some very clutch plays against Cincinnati. Even during that Chiefs game, I believe he had 2 or 3 touchdowns. Like
Right.
he's been balling this year.
Right.
So I just feel like the Broncos can sneak away with this. This might be the upside of the playoffs, and they can definitely sneak away with this one.
Uh,
Score
uh,
prediction.
oh yeah, which score prediction? Go ahead.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. 24-28. 24-28.
24-28. Denver, right? 24-28.
Denver.
All right. Cool. All right, so now I'm not about to ask another question, man. Obviously I said earlier, Ravens look like they're gonna be like the favorites to win. You didn't miss anything, Coingo. You didn't miss anything. I said that the Broncos are gonna win 31-24. I feel like it's gonna be the upset of the playoffs.
Oh no, I heard.
I think that's gonna be the case.
Mhm.
I think that's gonna be the case, but just my question for you though, Jalen. Question for you though. I said that the Ravens were the biggest threat to the Chiefs. Is there a possibility that the Chiefs could possibly run it back, win the Super Bowl 3 times this year, man, and come out the AFC? Because as much as you want to sit up
So
here and talk about the other
yeah,
teams, man, at the end of the day, man, the Chiefs, the playoffs are running through Kansas City. So whoever is playing next, man, like they're having to go through Kansas City to win. And we joke all the time about Arrowhead Dark Magic and everything like that, and all the luck the Chiefs have in Arrowhead and everything. But the fact of the matter is, there's only been one team that's beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs at Arrowhead since Mahomes has been in the league, and that's been Burrow. So, I mean, is there a possibility that the Chiefs could run the table again and get to the Super Bowl? So, I wanted to ask both of y'all that. So, go ahead, Jalen.
I hate to say it. 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 But there's definitely a possibility. There's definitely a possibility. There is 100% a possibility. Now, mind you, we did say Broncos were going to win, and if the Broncos do happen to win, they go against the Chiefs at Arrowhead, and the Broncos lost by 2 points, I believe, to a game-winning field goal
Oh, I thought
in
that
Arrowhead.
wasn't that the one that hit the post? Or it got
Or
blocked?
was
No,
it?
it was blocked.
Oh no. Okay, it was blocked. Their game. Okay, the Broncos game-winning field goal was blocked. That's my. You're right. You're right. I do feel like the way they lost, and it was at Arrowhead. The way they lost, it being a divisional game and a playoff game, it's tough to beat a team twice in the NFL. It is tough to beat a team twice in the NFL. So if the Broncos do happen to beat the Bills, they will see the Chiefs in the playoffs, and I think maybe possibly,
Don't say it, bro.
I think maybe possibly
Don't
it
say it.
gets sneaky. It gets real sneaky.
You
It
think the
gets real
Denver?
sneaky.
I'm
You
actually wondering if there's a Broncos agenda here. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know. I don't know how you've been poisoned by, you know what I'm saying, potentially your roommate, but this Broncos agenda is crazy because they're getting the crazy benefit of the doubt. I think right now we're talking about the Broncos playing literally at the peak of their powers. They literally have to play perfect football both of those games to win both of those games. The Bills are literally most like I don't see how they do. They don't have a I don't see what they do. Like they don't have
The
anything
thing
per
is,
se.
but look, the only reason I'm saying this is because when they were about to beat the Chiefs and their field goal happened to get blocked, they was already in a slump during that time anyway. That wasn't in the power in their little little uproar during the later end of the season. They were already in a slump when they played the Chiefs, and they almost won, but their field goal got blocked.
Well, can
That
I
last
point out
game,
also the
go
Chiefs
ahead.
also lacking a lot of playmakers. I want to see what like I really would like to see what Cortland Sutton is gonna do against a McDuffie. You know what I'm saying? Like this Chiefs defense, we're forgetting how dominant this Chiefs defense has been this year too. Like what if I feel like it's very possible that if they even get past the Bills, the Chiefs potentially shut them out, especially with all the playoff experience they have. You know what I'm saying? Coaching
bro.
wise,
That's
player
true.
wise,
That's true.
And we're
That's
not
true.
even, and we're brushing over the fact that they got probably arguably one of the best quarterbacks in our generation playing.
the best
And,
quarterback of our generation and the best quarterback to
The
ever play
best.
in
yeah,
the NBA.
the
Thank
best.
you.
It's not
Thank
crazy
you.
to say that.
It's
Not
not.
ridiculous to say that.
Thank
It's
you.
not. But I mean, you say experience. Like I said, I can't stress this enough. Mahomes has only lost once in the playoffs, and now it's to Burrow. Mahomes has probably one of the highest playoff winning percentages that we've seen from any quarterback in the league, like, and probably in the past couple of years. And what the Chiefs end up doing every year in the playoffs, so is actually crazy because every playoff's just like, oh, this team could come out of this conference, this team can come out of this conference, but it always ends the same with the Chiefs lifting up the Lamar Hunt Trophy and going to the Super Bowl and then ending up winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, man. Like you realize that we're about to be juniors in college. The last time the Chiefs won in the Super Bowl was our senior year of high school. Like that's
He's
crazy.
lagging out.
Like that's crazy, man. It's nuts, and it just goes to show the level of success that the Chiefs have had. And honestly, as much as I want to sit here and say the Ravens are favorites, man, I would not be surprised if the Chiefs and the Ravens meet in the championship game, or not even that. If the Chiefs, end up playing whoever they play in the championship game, and they end up going to the
Hmm.
Super Bowl again, man. I just,
Yeah, and quite honestly, if Patrick Mahomes three-peats, I can no longer call Tom Brady the GOAT of football.
really,
If Patrick Mahomes three-peats in the NFL, I can no longer call Tom
because how many
Brady the
Super Bowls
GOAT
he has?
in the
4 at
NFL.
that point.
Yeah.
You can't call Tom Brady GOAT after he three-peats?
If he three-peats, I gotta call Patrick Mahomes the GOAT. I can't say anything.
Six is greater
And
than Jay. Six is greater. You have your little debate right now, man. Say your piece.
uh,
Because the only thing I'm going to say is 6 is greater than 4. That's all. That's
actually,
all.
I think Tom Brady has seven. Tom Brady has seven.
Oh yeah, 7. Well, 7 is greater than 4. But
Seven is
explain.
greater than four, but three-peating? I don't think Tom Brady three-peated.
He has not three-peated. If anything,
Tom Brady didn't three-peat.
I don't even think he went back to back.
Now he did. I think he did go back to back. Uh, what years did he win the Super Bowl? Oh no, he didn't go back to back.
He didn't.
Uh-uh. Eight. Oh no, he did. He did. Yeah, he did. He did. And Super Bowl what was that? Super Bowl. What year was that? Okay, yeah, he did three-peat. He did three-peat. Super Bowl. What year? What year? 30, 38, and Super Bowl 30, 39.
Okay.
Okay, but he didn't three-peat. That's the point we're trying to make here. He did not three-peat.
Look,
He did not three-peat.
with the whole GOAT debate, man. Obviously, like I said, 7 is greater than 4. But the level of success that Mahomes has had playing on one team, man, has been absolutely impressive, man. Chiefs team before Mahomes got here, they were in the playoffs, but they were more or less like a wild card team, if anything. They weren't really, doing that much. I mean, they played in the AFC Championship game. Like, put this in perspective, man. The Chiefs have not lost in a game that's less than the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl in the past 5 years. In the past 5 years, which is crazy, which is nuts,
There.
which is nuts. Since Mahomes has been on the Chiefs have won 3 bowls, I believe 3, right? They've won three
Yeah,
Super
three.
Bowls. They have won 3 Super Bowls. Mahomes has won 2 MVPs. He already has a Hall of Fame career, and if he wins this one, he's already in. But at this
And
point,
look, yeah, they've won three Super Bowls, but they've been to four. Like
they've been
they've
yes,
been to four.
like
They've been there.
that's crazy. Like Mahomes, every team that he has had, even last year, which if you remember the Chiefs team last year, that was supposed to be their down season, man. That was supposed to be their down season. They were not expected to go to the bowl last year, and they did. And Mahomes found a way to get there last year. So when you look at the whole GOAT debate thing, I mean, I see that's why Mahomes is considered to be the GOAT. He's considered to be the greatest of all time, man, at this point. Especially if he wins this ring, because that's going to mean there's going to be 5 Super Bowls, and it's going to be four rings for him. And I'm sorry, but I know 7 is greater than 4, but to win 4 and you're only in year, what, 7 or 8?
Yeah, he's not far in his career at all.
He's
Like
not even
he
in,
had a lot of time. If Tom Brady can play 20, upwards of 20, 18, wherever he played, Patrick Mahomes can almost can do the same. Bro.
right. Quinn, you got anything to say? We're just talking about Mahomes, Brady, GOAT debate thing right now.
Hey, I never seen anything like Patrick Mahomes before. You've never seen anything like Patrick Mahomes before. No one has. He's the GOAT. I'm saying I got a lot of respect for Tom. I'm saying probably greatest winner. In fact, I don't think that's probably he is the greatest winner. I'm saying at the quarterback position ever. And I mean, I'm not gonna argue with anyone that says he's the GOAT. But I think Patrick Mahomes is the most impactful. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback. He's shown it with his Super Bowl wins that, you know what I'm saying? Even when the other side of the ball is mediocre, he impacts the offense so much that he can win, without great defenses. So I'm gonna go with Pat as the GOAT.
All right. And then also too, man, since we here as well, man, what's y'all Super Bowl predictions, man? Who y'all got coming out of the AFC and the NFC? Just give me that. What's y'all Super Bowl predictions? Jalen, if you're about to say the Commanders and the Broncos, man, you're gonna have to leave the call.
I feel like this is gonna be the battle of the Beltway for a Super Bowl. Battle of the Beltway for the Super Bowl.
Mm, no, I'm gonna go with Ravens. I'm gonna go with Ravens Lions. I'm gonna go with Ravens Lions
You
Super
got the
Bowl.
Ravens beating. You got the Ravens beating the Chiefs, man.
I think if anybody can do it, they had a 1 point game, first game of the season. It was a thriller. Since then, the
Great
Ravens
game.
have gotten
Great
way
game.
better. I think the Chiefs haven't really gotten that much better, but they've just maintained consistency. I want to see what the Ravens are gonna do this go around. I'm gonna go with Ravens. So I'm gonna AFC.
For me, man, I feel like it's gonna be a rematch of the 2020. Was it 2023 Super Bowl? I want the Lions to make it if they can, but I feel like it's gonna end up being the Eagles and the Chiefs again. Hopefully,
Yuck.
what are you saying yuck for?
Continue on.
I mean, hopefully it's not. Like I said, I want the Lions to have success and make it to the Super Bowl. I feel like that'll be a way more entertaining bowl. But Lions and the Chiefs. I mean, not Lions, Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs. I feel like will be the outcome. Eagles seem like the best team in the NFC. Hate to say it, and the Chiefs. They're the Chiefs, man. They don't really lose that much in the playoffs. They don't really lose that much in January. So I feel like we're going to be seeing them in February again as well. So that's what I got to say about it. That's what I got to say about it. But yeah, anything else you want to say, man? Anything else you want to say? Jalen, this looks like you itching to say something, bro.
No, battle of the Beltway for the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's what I know is going to happen. So,
And before we say anything else, man, you have anything else you want to say on Jaden Daniels? I feel like you didn't say enough earlier, so.
uh, he's just an aura radiating, a star in the sky, almost perfect, epitome of a quarterback.
All right, moving on.
I thought you wanted me. Okay, all right. Man.
Moving on. All right, so before we head off and everything like that, we just want to say, we have another segment, man. We have another segment. We're gonna go through the yearly awards. Obviously, we got MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. So we're gonna go through those, man. We're gonna say who our favorites are and everything like that. Let's just start off with MVP, man. I feel like MVP should be unanimous. I feel like we
No, it's
all.
not.
You said what?
It's not. It's not with the books and with the voters. It's
No, I'm
terrible.
saying just with us. Who
Oh
we
yeah,
all
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
MVP is. I feel like it should be
Lamar
unanimous.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Lamar
Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson, most definitely.
There's a reason why they call this Josh Allen's Embiid MVP because it's more like a here, damn, take the award type one. But you know what I'm saying? Something that happened to that fraud, but
We're not.
that's
We're
a
not
different
gonna. We're
story.
not. We're not gonna do that.
That's a different story.
We're not gonna call him a fraud. We're not gonna call him a fraud. He's just hurt. He's banged up, man. It's been a
Here,
rough season.
damn, take your MVP.
It's been a rough season. And B should have too. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
next one.
All right. So after that, we got Offensive Player of the Year. Is that the same as MVP or is that just
No, it's
That's Saquon.
offensive player.
I'm
Yeah,
saying Saquon.
Saquon?
yeah.
Saquon or
It's
Jamar
gonna be
Chase
Saquon.
or Jamar Chase.
They should have let Saquon win the record. I hate that they didn't do it. Like if they don't win the Super Bowl, like that shit was pointless. That nigga was. I mean, he was a he was a game he was a game away from the he was a game away from the record, and it was like, whoa, why not let him go get it? Like he was actually 100 yards away. He could have did that in the first half against New York, against the team that traded him, that got rid of him. He could have did that in the first half against New York and got sacked. But
Another thing about the record I want to say, man, outside of the Eagles thing, for me, I'm a Saints fan, so when it comes to rivalries and stuff like that, I feel like we should honor the integrity of rivalries. For me, watching what Mike Evans break that record off of that little 5-yard little drag route on Sunday, that infuriated me, man. That made me mad. That made me sick because I'm looking at how they were guarding him, They literally backed up 5 yards and just let him get the record. Which I'm sitting up here saying to myself, like, why do we let him do that? If that was
Thank you, Riz.
if that was Marshawn Lattimore or Mike Evans, I guarantee you he's not letting him get that record. So I just thought that was a problem itself. As far as the
Thank you,
Saquon,
Coach Riz. He walked over to your coach and said thank you. I know he did. Had to.
Klinger, you got anything you want to say about that before I go? You look bothered, man. You got anything you want to say about
I
it?
saw, you know what I'm saying, some information on Saints Twitter that spoke about this. Supposedly Rizzy was trying to call a timeout and signal to his players that we should be double teaming him. So there's that. But on second thought, I just want to say about offensive rookie of the year. Oh, not rookie of the year, but offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
I think it should go
Oh
Chase,
yeah.
man. Unbelievable season. First receiver to go 1,700 plus yards with 17 plus
Oh, he had a
touchdowns.
triple crown, right? Triple crown, right?
Yeah, he definitely
And
had a
triple
triple crown
crown.
too.
I mean, if it's not him, I would say Saquon. But because Saquon didn't break the record and Jamar Chase actually broke a receiver record, created a new receiver record. In fact, I'm saying Jamar Chase.
Oh, I didn't even give mine. I gotta give it to Saquon, man. Saquon had a really solid year, more than solid actually. I disagree with the fact that the Eagles, didn't let him break the record. I
Heavily.
feel like,
Heavily.
that's a once in a lifetime thing, and
Literally. If
obviously you
you
don't
see a
know.
record you can get, go for it,
Yeah,
bro.
and
That is insane, bro.
obviously with somebody who was that good of as a running back as Eric Dickerson, basically saying that he didn't want the record to be touched. I feel like that should have been more inclination for
To
Saquon to
go
go
and get
get
it.
that record,
Yeah.
because records are made to be broken, and I get you trying to save the health of your players and stuff like that, but for him to get at least like, how many more yards he needs? Like 50 or
I think
100?
it was 100. It was 103, I believe was the exact number. 100
103.
and yeah, 103.
So he could have had him run, for the,
That was first half. That could
yeah,
have been
first
first
half.
quarter, bro. He did that in the first quarter against us.
Yeah.
That could have been first quarter, bro.
So he could have did first half and everything like that, and
Still
then
lost
just
that game though.
okay and
You
live
over
with
there
the
smiling. He lost that game, by the
Kenny
way.
Pickett lost that game.
On to the next. On to the next.
live with the
I know Kenny
results.
Pickett played for the number one defense, but all right. On to the next.
All right. So next we got. I want to say rookie of the year. We're gonna do rookie of the year, and then we'll do coach of the year.
We know who the offensive rookie of the year is.
Brock Bowers.
So you have an agenda here.
There's an agenda.
Explain
But
why you say Brock Bowers. Explain. Let him
I
explain.
want to say this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Commanders fans. You know what I'm saying? Clap it
Because
up.
Brock Bowers did have a
Clap it
solid
up for
year. Go ahead.
yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for yourselves. But no disrespect to JD5. He's nothing we haven't seen before. Not in terms of him as a player, but in terms of you know what I'm saying, a rookie coming in, winning 10 plus games, you know what I'm saying, and having a pretty solid season, being very efficient. Saw that last year from
Dak did do
saw
that.
that from,
Dak
I
did
just
do
want to point
that.
out I saw
Dak
this
did.
last year from CJ Stroud, and that doesn't mean he should not win the award. He's very much worthy of the award. I'm just saying Brock Bowers did something that we have not seen a tight end do ever, honestly, in terms of receptions and yards. And I honestly, if I wish he had a better quarterback, he probably would have got touchdowns too. But Brock Bowers is generational. Like Jaden Daniels may very well be generational, but it is very very rare to get like a generational tight end. So I'm gonna say Brock Bowers.
Brock
And we
Bowers.
thought last year Sam Laporta was one of the final forms of tight ends with his touchdowns and his also receptions and yards. So I'm gonna go Brock Bowers here.
Brock
I
Bowers.
do have a comment on that because you said last year we seen the same thing as CJ Stroud, but CJ Stroud won the overall. So it's just like if he's seeing the same thing, I just feel like the overall should go to the person. You know what I'm
That's why I
saying?
said he is very much deserving of the award. It's not that I just think Brock Bowers. It's the same thing with Saquon. Like he's very deserving of the award, but sometimes somebody else just does something more exceptional at their position. It doesn't mean they're more impactful or better.
It's an MVP award, but I mean it's a
Yeah,
quarterback
and
award.
there's
But
that too. He's probably going to win it anyway because it's a quarterback award. But I think Brock Bowers probably deserves it a little bit.
the aura is radiating in the voter room. The stars are on the ceiling. The lights are
I
very
just want to
bright,
say, Commander
and
man,
there's
y'all
a
need to toss members of your community like this. This.
there's a glow. There's a glow behind a burgundy and gold five in that room. And I don't know how to explain it, but I see it. I feel it. It's an aura. I don't know how to explain it, but it's there. I feel it. Everyone in this chat feels it. Like I don't know how
I
to.
don't.
It's there. And Jaden Daniels, from San Bernardino, California, is our offensive rookie of the year, man. Unanimously. Unanimously. And it's tough to say.
Hey, why is he rookie of the year? Why is he offensive rookie of the year? Like, say your piece, man.
So 3,600 passing yards, almost 900 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. How many passing touchdowns he had? 26 passing touchdowns, uh, 8 interceptions. I mean, it's like his team was 4-13. Now they're at 12-5. What more can I say? He's running the offense. Teams are scared to game plan against him. Like, it's just, what can't he do? What can't he
Wait,
do?
by teams, you're referring to teams under 500, right? Or 500 and below,
Oh,
right?
here we
Wait, wait,
go.
wait,
Here we
wait,
go.
because when were playoff
But it
teams?
was cool when CJ Stroud did it last
Wait,
year,
I'm just
playing
saying,
in the
when were
AFC South.
playoff teams
Okay.
afraid of him though? Because like, I remember when CJ Stroud came and blew the doors off the Browns last year in the playoffs, first game, 45-13. Hello.
Wait, you talking about the Browns with a 40-year-old quarterback with a first-year coach? And just
Wait, are you talking about
maybe
are
I'm
you talking
missing
about top
something.
5 defense in the league last year? Are you talking about coach of the year?
Maybe I may maybe wait. So wait. So that wasn't the Eagles just then. That wasn't top one defense in the league
What
that we
last
just
year?
played. That we just know that we just beat.
Oh.
That JD5 just
You're
beat.
talking about the team that gave you the ball back. Unlike, the team when they start Jalen Hurts, who would just clearly possess the ball and run the clock. That
Well,
team.
it's not our fault that his head got dribbled like a basketball. It's not our fault. Like, Kenny Pickett don't play defense. That's the number one. That was one of the number one top three defense in the league. What you want me to do?
Kenny Pickett
What
doesn't
you
make
want me to
plays on
do?
offense, so I guess he does play defense.
Anyway,
Uh,
what's next? Defensive player of the
no,
year?
I didn't get to say my thing yet.
Oh, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, King.
I feel like offensive rookie of the year, man. Offensive rookie of the year, man. I feel like, it's obviously there's a lot of good choices, but Jalen, I hate to be this person, man,
Oh,
but
here we go, man.
you said that Jaden Daniels' team, they were 4-13 last year. They're in the playoffs this year. That's great. But there's another rookie that's in the playoffs this year as well, man, who's in that quarterback position.
Don't disgust me. Don't disgust me. Don't
Wait,
disgust me.
who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Bo Nix.
Talking
I'm
about Lil
talking
Bro
about Bo
Nix?
Nix.
Oh no. Oh no.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that's what my pick is, but I'm just saying because Jalen said that his quarterback was in the playoffs this year after not having success last year. Bo Nix is in the playoffs as well this year after his team not having success. Mind you,
The Broncos were like 7-9 last year, but they ain't
they
played
didn't
well.
make the
That's a
playoffs.
good
They have not made the playoffs since Peyton Manning was
that's
there.
a good point.
They
I'm
were
just
seven and
saying.
nine, but
I'm just
it
saying.
wasn't 4-13. They
And
were seven
this
and
is
nine.
all
I'm
the
just.
more reason that Brock Bowers needs the award. All the more reason.
But Quengo,
Oh, because his team was so successful.
no, but
He's a
Quengo,
tight end. He doesn't play quarterback.
but
Well,
also too, to Quengo's credit, Brock Bowers was like that in college too. And I didn't watch a lot of Raiders games this year, but Brock Bowers was doing his thing on the Raiders, and he was the primary person getting the ball. So just seeing what Brock Bowers is doing is good too. But Jaden Daniels is going to mess around and win.
we know this. We know this.
He's going to
That
mess.
award is going to sit pretty in his McLean home, in his McLean, Virginia home. It's going to look. It's going to look real good posted up
You
right
talking about
there. Just
McLean?
This is good.
on his
You
mantle,
talking about
on his nice
you
mantle.
talking about McLean?
That's where he at. That's where he at.
Yeah. Ah. Ah. I don't know why
All
they would
right,
give
so
him that
next,
award.
man.
Ah. You try. Wait, you
Anyway,
talking about Brock Bowers who had a 140 on the Chiefs? You talking about him? Ah.
Hey, Quengo, actually, can you say some of Brock Bowers' stats, man? Because I didn't
Let me
watch
look
a lot
some
of
of
his
this up.
games. You followed a lot. You followed some Brock Bowers this
So
year, so I
Brock
just want to
Bowers
hear.
went for 112 receptions, 1,194 yards, 5 touchdowns. And honestly, he could have had a lot more touchdowns, but they have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell switching back and forth at quarterback. So I just want to point out he had some excellent games with 8 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown on the Broncos. Excuse him. 9 receptions, 98 yards on the Ravens. 10 receptions, 140 yards, and a touchdown against the Chiefs. Top 3 defense in the league, by the way. Saying and those are just a few of the games. 13 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown against the Dolphins defense. Pretty solid defense, nothing special, but those are some pretty
All
big
right.
tight end games. Those are, I think, probably the biggest games at the tight end position. I think there's one bigger. I think it was probably Dallas Goedert against the Saints. Disgusting.
All right. All right. So okay, so I mean, he does have a point, Jay. He does have a point. I'm not gonna lie
I
to you.
mean, I don't remember Brock Bowers throwing five. I mean, having five total touchdowns in the game. That's what I remember. Anyway,
All right. So next, man, we got Defensive Player of the Year, man. It'll be interesting to hear what y'all have to say about this because, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of good defenders in the league. So who y'all got for Depoy?
you can go ahead first, Quinn.
So I know this might be controversial, but I don't think Pat Surtain is, not that he's not deserving. I don't think he should win it. I think there's a lot of other options here. I think Myles Garrett. First off, I
Is
just want to
TJ
say,
is TJ Watt a finalist this year too?
probably. I didn't pay much attention, but he's always a finalist every year, so he
Yeah.
most
Okay.
likely.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But one thing that needs to be spoken about in terms of Myles Garrett is, firstly, I think he is the only player edge rusher ever to drop 14 plus, 15 plus sacks 4 seasons in a row, which is impressive enough. But the fact that he doesn't have as good a defensive line, so a lot of the double teams are genuinely sent at him. Outside of Michael Parsons, I think he's the most double team edge rusher in the league, and I think he's ending the season with. You might have to fact check me on this, but I think it's 17 sacks. But yeah, I'm gonna go Myles Garrett, but I will understand if people say Pat Surtain. He should definitely be at least spoken about in terms of his impact on defenses in the NFL, especially considering the Broncos made the playoffs with their defense kind of leading this team to the playoffs. So I mean, I'll hear it, but I think the Broncos, you know what I'm saying, had a lot of playmakers everywhere. But I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett.
All right. Jalen.
I'm looking at the odds right now, and Pat Surtain is minus 430. It's looking like Pat Surtain is the favorite right now, but I don't know. I like what Quingo said about Myles Garrett. He's had a really good year, especially on a terrible team. Um, a name I also want to throw out here is Trey Hendrickson. I believe he's the leader in sacks right
Yeah, he
now.
is.
Yeah. Also on a
I
very
miss,
subpar defense, but
I miss him.
a name that's very well known on a top 10 defense, and it makes such a big impact on the game of football. It's just TJ Watt, man. TJ Watt. I do believe TJ Watt. I would want TJ Watt to win it, but that's my favorite right now. And yeah, he makes a very big impact on the game. He's leading in forced fumbles, I believe, as well as there's one other sack. I do not recall, but he's leading in another good sack. Forced fumbles
I
is
want
one
to
of
say
them. That's a
honorable
very
mention. If
impactful.
he was healthy this season, this would have been Aiden Hutchinson's award.
Oh, most definitely landslide,
This would have been
landslide,
his. This would have
landslide.
definitely been his award. So
Most definitely.
I agree. I definitely agree. Aiden
Most
Hutchinson started off the year very, very strong, and I think he was leading in sacks for like the first 3-4 weeks,
yeah,
and then it was
impressive.
a
Yeah,
terrible leg injury. Yeah, he was doing it all.
most
He had
definitely.
a very terrible leg injury, very gruesome leg injury, and yeah, it feels bad, but he would be the winner if he wasn't injured. But right now, I got T.J. Watt.
All right. For me, man. I feel like it's gonna be Myles Garrett, man. Obviously, Pat Surtain, has the best chance of winning it. But for me, Myles Garrett, what he's doing on a terrible team, I feel like just cannot be overlooked, man. Still having that level of success on a team in such a terrible position as the Cleveland Browns, man. Um, it's just amazing, man. And it's just something that, we're used to seeing with Myles Garrett, man. He's been having success, for the longest. And hopefully down the line, he's able to leave Cleveland and go to another team where he can have more success and possibly play for, more than just, stats at this point and get a ring or, do something to, get some more accolades under this belt. But for me, I feel like it's going to be Myles Garrett. And that's going to lead us to the last one. Coach of the year, man. Coach of the year.
so
I'm pretty.
I'm gonna
Go,
start
go
out. I
ahead.
just want to say immediately. I don't even have to think. Andy Reid. Andy Reid, I think, has to get Coach of the Year. I mean, people will make many arguments. There's a lot of different coaches who have had a good impact this year. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the Commanders head coach name because that's just an irrelevant
Dan
organization.
Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Let's make
Yeah,
sure we
but
get that name ingrained in
Dan
our
Quinn,
head. Dan
he had a
Quinn.
good year. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches deserve respect. Harbaugh from the Chargers, but I'm gonna say Andy Reid. What are they ending the season like? 15-2, could have been 16-1.
Yeah,
They
15
tried
and
to
2.
win their last game, but the adjustments
They
that
were
he
terrified of
made,
Joe Burrow. They didn't want to
the
win that game.
adjustments that he made after losing some of his best players at many different points of the season, and to still end up only losing 2 games and easily could have been one. I think he deserves a lot of credit with the injuries. You know what I'm saying? Running back getting injured back to back. You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers out. Rasheed Rice being out for the year. You know what I'm saying? Missing defensive tackles some games and tackles. You know what I'm saying? And that level of consistency, especially considering the Chiefs that probably should be fatigued after coming from 2 back-to-back Super Bowls and playing late into the season, like for the past 5-6 seasons. I mean, I think he definitely deserves Coach of the Year.
Jalen.
I feel like like Wingo said, there's a lot of candidates this year. Like he said, Andy Reid. I want to mention Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell.
Dan Campbell, just the Lions. He,
Yeah, I left
Jesus,
out some
man.
good ones.
That's a coach. Dan Quinn, of course. Dan Quinn, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of very strong candidates for Coach of the Year this year, and honestly, I feel like this is going to be one of the closer season awards that gets picked. It's not definitely not going to be unanimous. It's definitely going to be a very close race towards the end, and I think Kevin O'Connell is going to come out on top simply because the Vikings were not expecting to do this at all, especially with Sam Darnold and a rookie quarterback. And losing your rookie quarterback
Yeah.
before the season even started, like the Vikings were not expected to do this. 14 wins
Yeah, just to add on to that
is
though, I think
insane.
also the Vikings. I know at least for me, I definitely said that they had one of the worst situations when JJ McCarthy got injured in their division. Like I thought their situation was even worse than the Bears. You know what I'm saying? I thought that, like Jay Jettis might request a trade. Like I did not expect them to like have the season they're having, especially defensively. So
For me, man, I feel like Coach of the Year has to go to Dan Campbell. Obviously the Lions resurgence, man. Last year, lost in the championship game, the NFC Championship after blowing a lead against the 49ers. They come back this season. They're riding high on their success last year. And to win 15 games and improve on their record, man, I just feel like that can't be overlooked. Especially with a team that, first off, has not seen the playoffs before last year since like 2014, since Stafford was there. And just being able to win the North back-to-back years and have a 1 seed in the playoffs, and you're building on the success of last year and stuff like that. It's unspeakable, man. And you have a team that was in depth in a couple years ago versus now, like you're seeing there's possible Super Bowl favorites and heavy strong contenders. So I feel like the Coach of the Year has to go to Dan Campbell, man. I do not agree with how he coaches sometimes, but what his coaching does is produce results, man, and the results are wins. So it has to go to Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that. Yeah, Dan Campbell definitely brought a culture to the Lions team. Like his players love him, the fans love him. Although he is very risky, it tends to
Very,
pay out,
yeah,
especially with the players that he has and the team he's built around him. He's definitely a top 5 coach in the league right now. But I also want to mention something I left out with the Vikings. Like I know they lost their rookie quarterback, their first round pick quarterback before even starting the season, playing the season with Sam Donald,
mm-hmm.
and even was it their second round pick or another draftee died in a car crash. Like it was a lot. DMV native Kyrie Jackson.
Oh yeah,
It was a lot, but like they a lot happened to the Minnesota Vikings, and nobody was expecting them to be
yeah.
14-3 this season. So, like I said, I think Kevin O'Connell should be winning.
And I want to piggyback on that too because I totally forgot about that. But even like you said, man, the Vikings lost so much before the season even started, and for them to still be able to win 14 games in a stacked conference in a stacked division like that, where 4 out of the 5 teams in that division were playoff or was it 3? How many teams?
3 out of the 4. 3
3
out
out
of
of
the 4.
4.
3 out of the 4.
With 3 out of the 4 teams in the division or playoff teams, is it's amazing. And doing that in a year where most were considering it to be a down year, if anything, or a rebuilding year or a stepping stone year, is even more impressive, man. Which now you have, Viking fans excited for the postseason, excited for a chance to make a run. And one thing I forgot to say earlier was, even if they don't make that run this year, man, they're completely set for years to come. And I feel like that's what's so amazing about this with the Vikings, is because no one expected them to play this well this year, that they can use this year to not only just have it for a stepping stone for years moving forward, but no one expected them to play like this, so they have even more reason to go after it this year and get it and do whatever they want to do in the playoffs and everything like that. So, I mean, if Dan Campbell doesn't win Coach of the Year, I'm totally fine with Kevin O'Connell getting it. If Kevin O'Connell doesn't get it or Dan Campbell doesn't get it, I'm cool with, yeah. You know what? Why not, man? I'm cool with Dan. I'm cool with Dan Quinn getting it if those two don't get it.
Not Andy Reid. Wow.
Because look, man.
Those are the top three in the odds right now, though.
Oh,
It's Kevin O'Connell, Dan Campbell, and Dan Quinn.
Andy
Are you
Reid is
serious?
not even in there at all. That's wild.
He's not in top three. I don't know about the rest of it. But I want to piggyback off something Denari
Wow.
said with the Vikings in the playoffs. Like you said, like nobody expected them to be here. So really, for the playoffs, they have nothing to lose. I
They
feel
really
like
don't.
the teams with the least amount of pressure in the playoffs right now are the Vikings and the Commanders. Like nobody expected these teams to be in the playoffs. So that gives them all the more reason to go after it and give it their all. Simply because you have nothing to lose. Nobody expects you to be here. Ooh, nobody expected you to be here. So why not give it your all? Why not go in for the kill? Why not take everything and win? Like that, it's really it.
I would disagree about the Vikings. I think the Vikings have some pretty high expectations. At least now. Maybe
14
not coming
games
into the
doesn't give
season,
you
but
that.
now, after
14
seeing that they
games
could
doesn't
win
give you that. Yeah.
14 games, they have a very good receiving core, solid running back. That offense looks stable. That defense looks pretty good. I think I think the one out they have though is the fact that they have Sam Darnold at quarterback, and like it's not that Sam Darnold is not like good at all, but like it's kind of just a feeling even within their own organization that he's just not like your franchise quarterback per se.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like I could see potentially them losing because of him, but I also I feel like Jay Jettis has like kind of something to prove. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Jamar Chase, who is a former teammate, but also probably someone he respects and like looks at competitively to compete with, as he has some pretty good playoff performances. And for him to like have his one playoff game he played in,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, lose to the Giants. I mean, like I feel like he should go out there and leave it all on the field. He probably feels the same way.
Right. Just when you talk about pressure, man, in this playoffs, man, I feel like the teams with the most pressure, when I'm looking at, all these matchups, the teams with the most pressure, in my eyes, Philadelphia. Pressure is definitely on for Philadelphia. Philadelphia for sure. Baltimore, Buffalo.
that's my top three.
And I low-key want to slide in the Rams in there as well, man. Because since that Super Bowl in 2022, actually, no, I'll take the Rams out. I'll take the
I
Rams
say
out.
you
I'll take
throw
the
I
Rams.
say you throw the Lions in there.
That's my
I think
favorite.
the Lions have to make it past the
Really?
second round at least. They got to make it past the second round. If they don't make it,
Okay.
they don't make it past the second round. It's not gonna be that good in a lot of different ways. Not like they won't be good in the future, but like in terms of morale, that's like that's a kick to the shin. Like if they lose, especially with
I
with
agree.
a first round bye, and they lose in the second
Yeah,
round,
and it's home field
especially
advantage
after
as well.
you know what I'm saying, all they went through last year in the postseason, them making it to the NFC Championship and stuff. It's like that would be a tough loss.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't stress it enough. For the Eagles, I feel like the pressure is just even worse, man. With the Eagles, obviously 2022 or 2023, you guys have that magical season. You guys don't finish it off with the ring. Last year, you guys, start off, 6-0 and everything. Y'all beat the Bills, then the 49ers coming to town. Game of the week, everybody's eyes is on Philadelphia. NFC Championship rematch, you guys get smoked at home, and then you guys lose 6 straight to end of the season, and then you guys go into the playoffs with that, motivation, and you guys send, Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox into retirement, getting blown out against Tampa Bay. Then this year, you have all these expectations. You had the little skit at the beginning of the season. There were talks about Sirianni getting fired. And everything like that. You guys go on a winning streak. You guys get, gain ground in the division, everything like that. You guys get a high seed in the playoffs. Look, with the Eagles, man, or with all Philly teams that I've come to realize, man, is that regular season success, man, is good. But the playoffs is where these Philly teams plummet. They don't perform to the level that they need to perform at.
And you would know that.
I'm aware. Thank you. But that's where they don't perform well. You take the Phillies, for example, man. The Phillies won the NL East this year. They had all these expectations going into the playoffs. They go into the playoffs, they get taken care of by the Mets. They don't even make it to the NLCS. They lose in the first round. Take the Sixers for example. Sixers, I don't even have to talk about last year. But yeah, Sixers going, for example, they make the play-in tournament. They make the playoffs. We get, smoked by the Knicks first round. So it's just looking. All right. So looking at the Eagles, man, and just seeing how these other Philly teams are playing, man, and just seeing how the city, how passionate they are about, winning and everything like that. There's a lot of pressure because if the Eagles do not at least get out the wild card round, there's gonna be a lot of questions on coaching. Gonna be a lot of questions on.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, a lot of questions on coaching. It's definitely gonna be a lot of questions on whether Hurts is still the guy here in Philly. There's gonna be a lot of questions on how come we're building this team for you guys to win. You guys can't get the job done. So I really feel like this pressure for this playoffs, man. If Philly doesn't get a ring this year, that's it. It's curtains.
I agree. I want to say this. You mentioned coaching. Nick Sirianni's coaching job was already at stake before the year.
Talk to him. Yes.
And I feel like Saquon Barkley saved that man's career.
Oh,
honestly,
yes.
if the Eagles did not have Saquon Barkley, first off, they wouldn't be 13-4. But I mean, they wouldn't be atop of their division. Sirianni wouldn't have a job right now.
On a serious
I believe he
note,
was
the Commanders would have won the division if Saquon didn't have the season he had. Unfortunately.
That's a great point.
Unfortunately.
I didn't want to say it, but
No, on a serious note, he won them like actually a handful of games, like against the
most definitely.
Dude, that Saints game, and I keep on using that as like a point in the season because literally, if the Saints won that game, man, mind you, I understand. Yes, we went on that losing streak afterwards. Yes, I understand we're banged up. If the Saints would have won that game and the Eagles would have dropped that game to us, man, I feel like the whole trajectory of that season for the Eagles would have, went.
It's not crazy.
I would have went crazy because, mind you, they had trouble against Jacksonville. That's why when I was talking about, the wild card game against the Packers and everything like that, that's why I was like, I don't know. Because there's teams that the Eagles should have problems with that they don't have problems with. And then there's teams that they should take care of and dispatch easily that they have issues with. So it's like, you don't know which Eagles team you're going to get on any given Sunday. And you definitely don't know what Eagles team you're going to get in the playoffs because from history of watching this team play in the playoffs, man, I don't know what it is, man, but it's just like they don't play to the level that they're supposed to play at all the time in the playoffs. And because of that, they end up losing.
That's not crazy to say.
That's why I said, yeah. Go ahead, Quinn. Go ahead.
I was just saying that's not crazy to say at all. Like honestly, now that you mention it, I really do get that point. You know what I'm saying, like I know I said like don't mention this season with last season. It wasn't even more so. I think now really to me the fundamental difference is that like defensively, their margin for error is like decreased heavily because they just have players who are playing consistently on the defensive side of the ball. Now offensively, I'm not gonna lie, like if Saquon's not running the ball, there's serious problems when it comes to passing with the Eagles in terms of a consistent passing game. Like,
and if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it this year where the Eagles at the beginning of the season, if I'm not mistaken, there was like a metric that they weren't scoring in like the first half or something like that?
Oh yeah, the first half they haven't scored a touchdown. It was like
They
till
had
week 10 or week 11.
yeah,
They didn't score a touchdown in the first half.
and I can
They
promise
were
you,
only getting 3 points.
right? And now especially you looking at Jake Elliott and stuff like that. Even Elliott was missing field goals, and he wasn't like consistent towards the latter part of the
Yeah,
season.
I think he's 1 for 8
My
for
gosh!
50 yard kicks.
So it's like
He been bad.
It's like you don't know what Eagles team gonna get because I guarantee you, if the Eagles on Sunday come off to a slow start, there's gonna be a lot of unhappy fans in that stadium, and the Packers gonna be able to take advantage of
Loud.
that.
A lot of unhappy fans that are loud.
And losing a playoff series is one thing, man. That happens. Losing in front of Philly fans, man, it's like the worst thing, man. It's the worst thing in the world, man. It's the worst thing in the world. So, I mean, look, I understand Lions, all that stuff, but I still feel like Sirianni in this playoff run, I would not be surprised if they sat him down before this run and was like, yo, you're coaching for your life right now, man.
That's a great point.
You're
That's a
coaching
great
for your
point.
life right now. You better at least get me to the Super Bowl, or you will not be coming back next season.
I agree.
So, I mean, Sirianni. That's it, man. That's it. That's what I gotta say. You anything else you got to say, Jalen or Quingo?
That was it. That was it. He's definitely coaching for his life. If he don't make it to the bowl, he's out. He needs to
He's
be.
done. He's done, and it's not gonna be just him either. Because then the question is gonna be, with offensive coordinator like Kellen Moore and stuff like that, man. He just got you from Dallas and everything like that, and it's like you can't coach or make plays for the offense with what we have for you and everything like that.
And the thing is, Kellen Moore is getting head coach offers as we speak. He's getting head coach offers. I think he already got interviewed
Unfortunately, the
by.
Saints are setting up an interview.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
I was about to say I know he got a few interviews already.
I hope we get the
He's
dude
you know
been
from
who
out
we're
there.
Detroit,
signing
Quinn.
though. We're going for Aaron Glenn. We
I
don't.
hope we do.
I did see that.
I
I did
hope
see
we
that. I
do.
did see that.
Our former DB's coach. So welcome back.
I hope we get him. I hope we get him.
Anyways, we were straying away a bit, but defensive rookie of the year. I think that's the one we missed. Defensive rookie of the
Oh,
year.
defensive rookie, I didn't even know. Well, y'all go ahead, man, because I'm not gonna lie, I did not
Uh,
know who's the
I'm
defensive
saying
rookie.
verse from the Rams.
I'm, yeah, that's not crazy. That's not crazy. I think he's actually leading the joint right now.
Yeah, verse from the
Let me
Rams
check.
since week one has been pretty consistent. He has been
Yeah, most
pretty
definitely.
much
He's
the
definitely.
only big threat on that Rams D line, and he has basically looked good against probably like maybe 14 out of 17 opponents they played. Like I haven't really seen any down games from him. You know what I'm saying he's a great talent. You know what I'm saying hopefully Aaron Donald continues to mentor him or mentors him.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
a
gonna
great
go with
talent
that.
right there.
I'm just gonna go with that because I don't know who else is in the finalists for it. Who else is in the finalists for it?
Jared versus number one, Quinyon Mitchell, Chop
Oh,
Robinson from Miami, Braden Fisk from the Rams, and then Cooper DeJean.
I really
Cooper
don't think
DeJean's
it's
not
close.
winning
Like
it.
I think Jared Verse is
yeah,
by far the
Yeah, I
best
agree. I agree.
yeah.
defensive rookie this
Like
Still had to put it out there though.
Quinyon Mitchell's had a solid season, but I don't know, man. I don't see him getting the award. I
year. You
feel
know,
like it's gonna be
I feel
DeJean.
Yeah,
like there's been
if that's if,
a lot of
if that's
young
second place, I feel
DBs
like Jared
playing to
versus
his, you know what
Jared.
I'm saying, level.
Yeah, but that's it, man. Anything else I want to say, man, before we close out this episode? We actually did a lot this episode,
Yeah, we
man.
did a lot of talking this episode.
That's good though. That's good though. That's good though. Means that we still got it. Quinn, you got anything else you want to say, man?
I just want to say, man, Saints Nation is never over. We coming back next season. 13-win season. We won the division.
Should I write that one
Going
down?
back
Should
to
I
the
write that
top
one
of
down?
the
Let me write
league.
that one down. Let me write that one down. Let me
It's
write that one
documented.
down.
It's well documented.
You said we win the 13 games next year
All
with
right, all
Bradley?
right, all right. I'm trolling. But
No, it's all
no
good. It's all good.
funny.
It's already written down in the
Saints
notes.
Nation.
No, it's all
Saints
good.
Nation. Minimum 10 games. Lock it. Lock it. Minimum. Lock that.
Minimum.
Put it in
Okay, I
bold.
got you.
Put it in
Minimum
bold too. Thank
10
you.
games. Saints
Okay, I can get
win.
behind that, man. It's gonna be a rebuild year
Dano.
next year.
This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna draft a DB or safety in the next round. In the first round.
You just got one.
Either
You just got one. Kool-Aid.
whoa,
Kool-Aid
whoa, whoa,
McKinstry.
whoa. I said a DB or safety. So first
You
off,
got a top. You
Malachi
got a top
Starks,
10
welcome to the
pick.
Saints. Malachi Starks, welcome to the Saints. Hello. Then in the third round, we're going to get Pat Bryant. Hello, welcome to the Saints. That's the new X on the team. I hope we draft a tight end. I hope we draft. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a tackle in
Set
the
in
second
stone.
round.
Set in
Oh yeah,
stone.
that's me right there. Hello.
All
Me.
gold.
Yup. So I hope we draft a tackle. And then late, I don't care who we draft late, but if we have a nice solid fourth round pick, not Quinn Ewers. What's Jackson Dart? Hello. Welcome to the
It's not crazy.
take.
No,
It's not
Hey, I
crazy.
take him over Jake Hayner any day or Spencer Rattler.
yeah, I wasn't moved by Rattler, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little
I
bit of
did tell
potential.
you before the season he was going to be your
He
starting
shouldn't be at
quarterback
the
for a little bit,
Saints.
though.
He should be in Jacksonville. We need a better backup than that. Hey Dart, welcome to the Saints.
All right, Jalen, you got anything else, man? You want to say, about your Commanders? Heading into playoffs
We
this
in it to
weekend.
win it. We have nothing to lose, and we are going to win the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say.
You got a message for Jaden Daniels, man? You got a message for him, bro?
Uh, keep doing you, young goat. That's all I got to keep doing you, young goat. Man, it's a hunger behind him. It's a real hunger. He want it all. It's a real hunger behind him. I seen the animosity. I seen the heart of a lion. I seen this. Oh my! It's just he there.
It's filthy.
It's just oh my. There's an aura radiating behind that man. And just I can feel it. I don't even gotta see it. It's just faith. I don't have to see it to believe it. I feel it.
It's
It's
like
faith.
it's like Bird Box.
It's filthy. It's
Man,
filthy.
he there. And he hungry. He want to win. You gonna say, look, I'm gonna get me a replica Super Bowl ring. That's all I know. Replica Super Bowl ring on the way.
This
Cause
episode's gonna
y'all
be
going to
so
the Super
funny.
Bowl, right?
Hey,
Focus on getting
Quengo.
it out of the first round.
Hey,
Focus
Quengo.
focus on
Quengo.
focus on Yaya
Quengo.
Diaby not murdering your quarterback.
Quengo. We're gonna look back in this and laugh after this weekend when the
Ooh, I'm gonna
Commanders
laugh. I'm gonna have a
when
nice chuckle while sipping a nice mimosa
when the Commanders get blown
after
out
my
by
replica
Easy
Super
Bake.
Bowl ring arrive in the mail.
When Easy Bake does his thing against the Commanders, we're gonna look back and
I'm not
laugh
gonna lie.
against
If y'all
Money
lose
Inc.
to the Buccaneers, like it's not gonna be a bad loss, but I'm gonna be very surprised. Like that would be crazy. Mike Evans performing against Marshawn Lattimore. I really can't see it. But if y'all lose,
Denari, we gonna sit back and laugh. I'm gonna be sipping a nice mimosa with my Commander Super Bowl ring, replica Super Bowl ring on my left hand, on the ring finger. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
Look, man, before we close out, man, I just want to say you guys asked for it. People were saying, "Yo, how can we rep the podcast and stuff like that?" Merch is on the way.
Oh! Merch on the way. Merch on the
Oh, I
way.
thought you about to say something about
Merch
Jaden
on the
Daniels.
way.
Actually, about to say
Merch
something
on the way.
Actually, about to say something about Jaden Daniels, man. But yes, merch is on the way, man. We got some hoodies for y'all, man.
Yes,
Jalen
sir.
Quingo,
Yes, sir.
Jalen Quingo, they got to see it. Some of y'all already got to see like the little sneak peek of it, man. But we got some on the way for y'all, man. So let's keep it locked, man. Also too, obviously, just want to keep promoting this until it happens. But live episodes coming out in April. So between now and April, man. If you haven't been checking out the episodes, check them out so you know what the episodes and the podcasts are. So you won't be in for like a shock when you see us on stage and stuff like that. But it's gonna be a fun time, man. Obviously, I'm gonna be there. Jalen gonna be there. Quingo gonna be there. It's gonna be
Everybody's gonna be there.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
Everyone is gonna be there. Please
Everyone,
show everyone's gonna be there.
everyone's gonna be there, man. It's gonna be at the
It's
skate
gonna
park.
be deep. It's gonna be
It's
deep.
gonna
It's
be
gonna be
fun.
deep.
Quingo, you got anything you want to say about the live episode, man?
man, I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there. You know what I'm saying?
And if you're not there, what you doing? If you're not there, what you
If you
doing?
know,
What are
you
you
know. You know
doing?
what I'm saying? I just want to say, be there, be square. Gonna be serious.
Literally.
So shout out. But thank y'all for tuning into the episode, man. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. This episode wouldn't happen without you guys. Like I said, merch on the way. Go Saints, man. Go Dodgers, man. Commanders, y'all
Come
go.
on, hey Saints Nation, who that? We coming back.
Who
Coming
that?
back next season.
Yeah. Who that, man? Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.